Hi, my name is Natalia Antonucci, and I am the president overall at CompCentral and also the VP of Sales Management.
Hey, I'm Teddy Manfrey. I'm the VP of Manufacturing as well as the VP of Accounting and Finance.
Hello, I'm Chloe Horton. I'm the VP of Accounting and Finance as well as Business Analytics.
Hi, I'm Kylie Decker, and I'm the VP of Marketing and the VP of Sales Management.
And we are CompCentral.
So I'm going to be discussing our critical decisions and their financial outcomes for quarters 5 and 6. In quarter 5, we invested in market research for the regions of Latin America and the Middle East and Africa, in addition to our previously purchased market research for the North America and European regions. And we increased our spending on market research from $46,000 to $92,000. And we also invested over $2 million in a fail-proof ultra-capacity hard drive that would be implemented in quarter 6. And we invested in increasing our fixed capacity to 100 units per day for a cost of $2.2 million. And this resulted in a decrease in lost sales due to stockouts. In quarter 6, we opened sales offices in the Middle East and Africa and Latin American regions, and this was based on our market research purchased in quarter 5. And these sales offices were in Abu Dhabi and Sao Paulo. We also chose to redesign our products in order to better meet the needs of our customers. And each of these product redesigns cost $60,000 per market segment product. And this resulted in an increase of overall market share from 24% to 43% in quarter 7. And it also resulted in us having over 50% of the market share in 2 of our target segments of workhorse and traveler. And in quarter 6, this was a really big quarter for CompCentral. We became profitable with a positive net income as well as a positive operating cash flows, net operating cash flows. And a lot of this success was due to the implementation of the fail-proof ultra-capacity hard drive that we invested in quarter 5. So for this slide, I'm going to be discussing our critical decisions and their financial outcomes for quarter 7 and 8 for CompCentral. So in quarter 7, we started to see a lot of the benefits of our investments in prior quarters, so we didn't have as many major financial decisions to make. However, we did choose to modify our CompCentral ad at a cost of $30,000 in order to better meet the segment's requirements. And this actually resulted in an increase in our cost cutter market share from 31% to 40% in the following quarter. And we also invested in opening new sales offices in Santiago, Paris, and Shanghai. And these sales offices opened in quarter 8. And then in quarter 8 also, our most critical decision was the implementation of these sales offices in new cities. However, we did this just because we had the resources to do so with the available cash, but we didn't really have any major critical decisions because of the financial success that our company was experiencing based on our prior investments. And overall, we didn't have any critical decisions with major negative impacts for CompCentral.
So I'm going to discuss the financial results from quarter 5 through quarter 8. A few things to point out is that CompCentral remained profitable in every quarter. We always had an increasing cash balance in every quarter, as well as the highest retained earnings out of our competition. As you can see on our income statement, our gross profit increased every quarter, with our highest profitable quarter being quarter 8, with it reaching $21 million in gross profit, and also increased as much as $8 million from quarter 7. I also would like to point out the research and development and how it's driven our profits. You can see that in quarter 5 we invested $2 million in the research and development, and it led us to a negative income of $1 million. However, after that investment, we jumped up to as high as $4 million and continued to increase in net income as each quarter progressed. So for our cash flow, we always had a lot of cash at the beginning and end of each quarter, and the cash balance was always increasing, which is why we also had $0 in debt and never took out any loans for our financial investments. However, I would also love to point out that although we had a negative operating cash flow in quarter 5, it was due to the amount of investing we did to better our product for our customers. Finally, the last thing I want to mention was our retained earnings in quarter 5. They were at negative $3 million, but due to our investment decisions, we saw a huge increase in each quarter after that, which led to us being the only team in the market with a positive retained earnings.
On slide 6, I'm going to talk about our best products and sales. First off, we targeted 3 different segments, which was Workhorse, Traveler, and Cost Cutter. For these 3 different segments, we had a different computer for each one. These computers depended on what the customer wanted, so we satisfied their needs. These are things like whether it's a desktop or a laptop, and included different office features, such as presentations, bookkeeping, and a database. We also invested in research and development and implemented this into our computers in quarter 6. We put in a fail-proof ultra-capacity hard drive. This significantly increased our sales. Also, throughout the quarters, we had to adjust our priority. We first had our number 1 priority with Cost Cutter. We realized the demand wasn't that high, so we switched it to Workhorse. Also, if you take a look at our sales, Workhorse was our highest selling product. Soon after was the CompCentral, and then following that was CompCentral. This was the lowest selling computer, but it still had a $3 million sales. CompCentral had a significant standing in the market. For the total market, we had 46%. In the Workhorse segment, we had 51%, which was our leading sales segment. In Traveler, we had 54%, and in Cost Cutter, we had 47%. If you notice that in the total market share, our highest leading competitor only had 17%. We also had some standing in the Innovator and Mercedes segments, even though we did not focus on them. We want to continue to dominate the market.
Here at CompCentral, we have done so well in the past that we have got a lot of big things planned for the future. Our strategy for quarter 9 and beyond, we're going to do a lot of investments. First, we're going to start with 2 different research and developments. We're going to include a professional operating system with ease of use, and that's going to be about $3.1 million. And then we're also going to invest in an ultra-fast computing power, and that's going to be about $3.5 million. The professional operating system is going to be included in 2 of our computers, because our Cost Cutter computer is only a basic operating system, and then the ultra fast will go in all 3. We're also going to continue to invest in improving changeover and reliability. We've been spending about $500,000 in each area, and we are going to continue to do so. As you can see on slide 10, we do have a lot of other exciting things happening in the future here at CompCentral. One of those is going to be focused a lot on brand options. We're going to give our customers more than one option in each segment of the market, so Cost Cutter is going to have 2 separate options. This is great for any customer because everybody wants choices. And so now we're going to have 6 different options. We're going to be keeping the old version, and we're also going to have a new version that's going to have our new research and development. So the old one will just have the ultra capacity, which those were doing so well already, so it's just going to be beneficial to us. And we're also going to steal some of that market share that if they didn't have what they wanted, they were going somewhere else. Now they're going to be staying with us. Another big area that we're going to be focusing on is our advertisement. We currently have acceptable ratings in all areas, but we want to be excellent as opposed to just acceptable. And then we're going to focus on putting more ads out in our more profitable regions as opposed to the regions where we don't make as much money, because of course we want to sell our computers where we're making more profit. On slide 11, you can see some more exciting things that will happen in the future at CompCentral. These 2 things are a little further out than the other 2 slides that I've spoken on, but they're still extremely important to the success of our company. As you can see that on slide 9, I did talk about boosting the reliability judgment and how we're going to spend about $500,000 each quarter. But we want to get it to a 90 or more. That's our end goal. This is because we want to be able to venture out into Mercedes and Innovator, and we know that those computers, especially Mercedes, have to be perfect. So we will not venture out into those areas until our reliability judgment is at least a 90. This will be really exciting for CompCentral because we have not entered out into those areas again yet. We do have some of the market share in those already, so we know that it's just going to be success here in the future. The lessons we learned here at CompCentral were substantial in the area of manufacturing because we did so poorly in quarter 5. We only produced one computer because our operating capacity was so much lower than what our demand actually was, and this is what focused us more on manufacturing and helped us do as well as we did because trial and error is so helpful. We also learned how to balance our lost sales and our ending inventory so that we would not have too much ending inventory or too much lost sales. We had to keep it pretty even, and then we also learned a lot about having the right amount of salespeople in order to have enough computers to sell to those people.
The next thing we learned is the importance of research and development. We invested in research and development in quarter 5, and this is a large investment, but once we implemented these results into our products in quarter 6, our sales significantly increased. We plan to invest in more research and development in the future.
The lessons we learned through advertising was understanding the wants and needs of the customers and to keep it simple to make it visually pleasing.
CompCentral learned that in relation to Salesforce, 8 salespeople per sales office is the most effective number, and this is due to the fact that the demand per person is highest with 8 salespeople. We learned that having higher numbers of salespeople can result in lost sales due to stockouts. So it is important to balance manufacturing with your sales force in order to make sure that you are not selling computers that you cannot actually manufacture.